It's been a while since I've done an art video. Good to have you back in. I still have these Legion minis that I did. It's been a while. I'm actually readjusting these so you can see them. They're pretty much well done. We are going to do the finishing touches of the terrain that's going to be on these guys. So I will show you how I do that also. Just trying to adjust you to a better angle. Awesome. So without further ado, I shall continue working on these. There are a few that you've seen. All it is just some ordinary beach sand and some super glue, and you're good to go. And let me make sure the music's not too loud. As always, no copyright on there. It's just good old-fashioned synthwave. Something a little high-tech. Maybe tonight I'm also going to start on some Rebels. Not too sure yet. We'll see. So, hopefully your weekend went great. So, just going to show you. And this is a gel-like one. I honestly like using the regular one for doing this. But this works too. So I just kind of pat it down with it as I go. Putting it on there. Put a few more drops there. Good. Now what we're going to do. Put it in the sand. Shake off any excess sand. And there you go. Let me do my usual. So you get a nice, clear. Bam, look at that. Instant terrain on your mini. It's always good just to go back and forth. And of course, again, I'm kind of smoothing it out. I will always use my rags here, my blue rags. They're the greatest for wiping off the nozzle. And again, oops, almost glued my glove to that. You can hear it. Get any excess. Put a little bit more on there. And bam. Make sure none gets to the base part, really, because you don't want that. Just want it on top. Perfect. Cool, right? Okay, let me do any spec op guys, or more the heavy weapon stormtrooper, if you will. So, go ahead and use that nozzle again. Oh, commercial. Sorry about that. Had two ads on here. Come on, guys. Bam. Here. Luckily, I bought a second bottle for this because I knew it was running kind of low, especially me putting this much glue on to a miniature's base. Put a little bit more around the other part of his foot. Okay. And there we are. One more. Put down there. Let me go ahead and do one of the more interesting guys. Here's one of the kneeling guys I got. Check that out. Oh. And I'll do a commander. I actually gave this guy a green pauldron. That, there you go. Just to add a little bit of color to it, a little bit of variety for a stormtrooper. Welcome, viewer. Let's do just a little bit more around there. Let's see if I can get. I'll move you guys over here just a little, just so you can see a little bit more what I'm doing, because it's fortunately my arms are here and like I kept trying to move over there, so this should work a little bit more. Okay, and we're running low on glue, but I don't want to open up the new one just yet. You can hear it ruffle through the stuff there. There you go. Bam. Okay, still got plenty more. Alright, that feels like it's almost the end of this. Sorry, my hand's shaking because it's just trying to squeeze this thing. There's a little bit more. Just gotta squeeze the thing a little bit more. Yeah, let me open up the new one. Yeah, I'm not using anything special, just using the Loctite. Again, the gel. I wanted the regular, but hey, that's fine. Put that old bottle away. New bottle. It's a nifty little thing that you crack it so you can feel it, and bam. Give it a couple squeezes. Bam. See, that one was super full already and ready to go. I should probably keep the old nozzle though. Smoothing it out, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that for smoothing it out. So. Yeah, there we are. Bam. Do another rocket trooper. Move you guys, whoop. Move these stun guys back for a little bit. Now for the rebel troops, I'm actually going to follow kind of their indoor color scheme. So like greens, browns, maybe really off-whites, if there are any that I decide to put on there. So here's what I'm going to do. Go ahead and put some glue down. And then I'll use the old one to smooth it out so it doesn't clog up the newer one that I'm putting on there. So I'm going to smooth it. Perfect. And then it's going to go in the sand. Knock off the excess sand. I'll hear it. And then once more. Bam. Instant terrain on that mini. And we'll just repeat as needed. Okay. New one. Okay, cool. I had to look at check. That was the newer one. Alright. So we'll keep going. Yeah, I did a couple gaming streams over this little 4-day weekend. Just to test the waters, so to speak. Dreadnautical was fun. I might actually return to that one a bit more. I like playing the Maneater one. That's a shark one. But I think I might play that more off stream, just for funsies. But it was pretty fun to be the shark, though. I will give it that. So, give it this. And, oops. There we are. And I just knock off the excess that comes around the edge there. Hey, another ad. Skip that. And let me adjust my gloves too, because those aren't on all the way. I could feel it. My apologies. So we'll do this again. This guy actually standing on the edge of his base. Like really, like on the edge of his base. I'm super surprised. Looks cool. Bam. There we go again. Hey. How was everybody's weekend? Good, I hope. Okay, I'll get this guy nice and trained up. Don't be afraid to go near the feet either. It's fine if there's like sand and things like that on them. Especially because I gave these guys a coat of the shader. And that actually makes them look like they've been, as I always say, they've seen some stuff. So it's not bad. It's actually, it gives your models like a look. It gives, like, you know, I know when we watch Star Wars, especially like even like the newer stuff, you see more gritty stormtroopers, and I really dig that. I'm a sucker for the troops looking like they've been in combat and not the pristine ones we've seen from like episodes 4, 5, and 6, which is fine. I mean, those are fine too, but you got to think they're troopers, they're soldiers, so it's fine for them to be dirty and to have a little bit of grime. And there we are. Okay, switching bottles back to the normal, and this is going to be our last one for the Stormies. And I'll have actually finished all the Stormies on this box. This is just the beginner's box, and it goes for about $79, $80. I got it as a gift for my birthday back in January. So I think I got plenty of glue on that one. I'm just gonna put that away for now. Spread it now again, one more time. This guy even looks like he's seen some stuff too. You could see like the parts in the back. I didn't quite get the full thing, but I like that because that actually gives him like his armor, like part of it just got scratched up on the leg. And I'm actually going to leave it that way just because I like that look again. So there we go. Oop. Get some of that excess off. I don't want it to come down on the ground. I gotta vacuum this place again. And there we see it. Bam. Instant terrain on your model. And all it cost me was $5 for this. You can see it right here. I'll show you. $5 for the sand and $5 for your super glue. All that, and you can do all kinds of terrain on all kinds of minis. Later on I might do a little bit more. I might even put some grass on here. Personally, what I use, I know they do sell grass, which is fine. You can get that at the modeling store too. I like to use a mixture of paint. I usually just use like a cheapy like acrylic, like something like Apple Barrel. And what I'll do is I'll mix that with the pencil shavings. And that'll make perfect grass, and that'll stick right on there. And you don't have to do anything to it. So yeah, there we are. You guys are the first to see my fully done Imperial Forces. Probably when they're finished or when they're done drying, give them a day or so. I might put them back into baggies that they originally came in, just to kind of keep them together. So, but they're all done. I'll let them dry. Put my cap back on here. And we'll bust out with some Rebel Forces. Okay. Let me move you back just a little. Pardon me. Alright, so for these guys, kind of want to start with something a little bit easier. Sorry, you guys are a little sideways. We got what look like normal troopers here. I'll start with them. Okay, so we have 3 of them, each of them using, gotta make sure the sand and glue are off my gloves. Each of them are carrying their rifles, so they're just using normal rifles all around, it looks like. Oh man, these ads are killing me. Just trying to listen to some tunes while I paint. Okay. So we got 2 human, and I apologize, I don't know what species these guys are, but they're the blue ones with the red eyes. Oh, that's all I remember. Nope. Turn off those ads. Kill me. Alright, got a couple troopers here. These guys, the only thing I'm hard of telling is whose rifles are whose. I think the closer ones belong to these guys. It looks like. Got square pegs. Got rounded pegs there. And these guys are more of rounded. Yeah, these are, okay, so these guys that are out a bit more look like they go there. Yeah, and these ones that are squared that are a little bit more tight, like when they're in running motion, are for those ones. Sorry about that. Alright, let's get some brushes into the water. Just something to get the bristles loosened up. Alright, and my usual paint that I'm using today, as I always go over it with you guys, are the Army Painters. Real easy stuff to grab, real accessible, works great. I love it. It's probably the best paint I've worked with so far on miniatures. Don't get me wrong, there are tester kits. Those are more for vehicles, otherwise I would really definitely recommend you thin that stuff down if you're going to use it, just because it's such a thick paint when you're working with it. And it took me years and years to kind of realize that using 2 thin coats is way better than using like 1 big thick coat and then globbing it on and just sort of like putting it on there. It's a little weird, but okay. So for the, actually I'm going to start on one of these little alien dudes. I do humans all the live long day. Those are kind of eh. So I'll keep these over here and I'll start with one of these guys just to kind of start off with it. I might even start off with not his clothing. I'll do his head first, actually, just to see how good I am at that. Might be terrible. Who knows? Sorry, as I'm shaking up my paint over here. Should have had it pre-shook, but that, eh. That is not shook up at all. But that might not be a bad thing, because you can see where it's kind of separated right there. It's kind of like, yeah, you got your light blue and you got your dark blue on one thing. So it is best to shake it up. So I'm going to actually let that settle. And what I'll do, use my sort of thicker one, because I'm just doing a whole head. It's hopefully going to look okay just on this character. So Even if it's got that faded look, that's okay. Because these guys, I would imagine skin tones are a little funny with, even though these guys are usually like a deep blue. This might look okay. And it's alright if you hit the eyes, because you can come back and get the eyes later on. Because these guys have really red eyes, and I have like some brushes I can totally hit those back with. And let's just go over this. Good. It's okay. It's always okay. Looking good. Now around the neck, just be ever so gentle. Let the brush go around the curves and you'll hit it every time. As you can see there, looking like he's part of the Blue Man Group, which is okay. I'm just going to let his head dry there while I hit his friend there with the same color. Shake this up a little bit more. Makes me think I should definitely invest in, they actually make marbles. I know the tip is pretty small, but they actually make marbles that will go in there and shake it around like a rattle can. And there's teeny tiny, but man, they're probably worth it at this point, I'm thinking. Because my paints, unfortunately, have sat on their sides for a while. So, but that's okay. It's okay, we can work with this. So we'll do the same thing with this friend here. That was kind of a biggie blob, which that's my fault. Let's do that. Now, what can happen? Sometimes when you get biggie blobs like that, go ahead and rinse your brush off and just kind of go over lightly. It is going to be a little thinner, but it is going to go in every little curve. It's okay. It's okay if it's thin and the gray's still showing through like this is now, because we're still gonna go over it again, and I'm actually going to wipe off my brush. Dip my brush, wipe it off again. Get all that, mix up the paint and the little thing, and hit it one more time. And that is a nicer coat. That's looking real good right there. I just want to make sure the back of the head and the neck get a nice even coat too. And thank you. Let's go. Just brush right there against it. Try not to take anything off as you're going. If you do, just dab it a little. Kind of like you're trying to brush off the coat onto it, so that's fine. And now, clean off my brush a little bit. This is my method. I know people hate it, but it is mine, so I do it. And he's not looking perfect, but once that dries, it's going to dry a little tighter. It's going to look a bit better on him. And then I'll come back and do the eyes and whatnot. So, while that's going, Wash off the brush. Also, don't forget to have something to drink, by the way. Shake that up as well. By the way, I'm not sponsored by Arizona, I just like it. Slightly healthier. Don't be afraid to drink water. Okay. So what we'll do, a little easier, kind of a cop out on this. Just gonna do some black. I'm gonna hit their boots. And I'm gonna hit the rifles. Their backpack, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that yet, because I know my other one that I did kind of had a green look to it, but I might do something else. I'm not sure yet. We'll figure that out. Sorry, another ad. That's not mine. I'm getting paid for it. Why are you watching it? Why are you listening to it? Okay. Well, another dot. That'll be good. Okay. So first things first, we'll get back with our brush. I might use something a little smaller, as far as like a little thinner, so it can hit the rifle without necessarily getting their gloves or their boots, without necessarily getting. As you can see, it's hard to see the detail here. Rebel troops kind of have this weird chap thing. And if I remember right, seeing in Return of the Jedi, what little you could see, you could either do it a different, like off-white, or you could do it the similar color that they had with their camouflage pants that they were wearing at the Battle of Endor. Me personally, I'm gonna probably keep it green, but these guys, at least these two species here that they have, how do I put it? They have knee pads on the sewed into the thing. So I'm gonna actually probably do that a different, like earth tone color or something. But anyway, enough talking. Let's get their boots painted. And just give it a nice little stroke over it. I even do the bottoms, just in case. I don't use clear bases, even though I do have some clear bases. With these particular ones, I just wanted to do. I don't know why. It's a weird completionist thing that I have, where I'm like, I gotta get the whole boot painted. So it's a weird mind goblin, as they would say. So it's fine to do these little details, not actually do the whole thing just yet. I'm not sure if I'll be doing the cloth parts tonight. I got nothing but time on my hands, but sometimes I just gotta take breaks. So go ahead and see these details here. Let me get the side of his boot. I'm gonna probably have to get a better mount for you guys to actually see everything going on. I'm even thinking of those little tripods. Just so you could see from like over here down. And I mean, because I don't have my thing hooked up to anything right now. And I don't need the light because I got the overhead light up top, so. As you can see. Maybe some of the other rebel troops will get a little bit more creative and do different colors, but for now, there we are. Just simple black boots. And when those dry, those will have a nice matte finish to them. And I'll do the other guys there. good. Again, nice thin layers are fine, no rush. Always take your time on these kind of projects. Don't procrastinate like I do, but always take your time when you're actually doing it. No need to speed paint. And there you have it. You get that one little part right there. It's bleeding through. And that's looking pretty darn good. And even if I hit the edges, which I did a little bit, that's fine. That'll come right off later on. Or I can repaint it when I go over that. And now for their rifles. I think I'm going to give them black rifles with a little bit of silver here and there that you see from it being looking like it's scratched once they're dry. But for their gloves, I'm probably going to do like those brown, almost like those work gloves. That will look good for it. And you nice and let the brush just go right against it. There's that little spot right there. We got it. Perfect. And I'll do the other side here. Make sure you get like right there in the barrel area. Let me go ahead and rinse my brush. It's only for it to be dipped back into the black paint, which is fine. Alright. There you have it. Now you can't see the black rifle against that, but you can kind of definitely tell that that will be a gun. Or a blaster, I should say, in this universe. My apologies. And again, it's okay if you don't totally get everything exactly. Let me skip this ad yet again. Man, these are rife with ads nowadays. And now you'll always notice areas like that where you'll hit it. Back here, under the barrel, sometimes we miss those, that's fine too. Give it a quick brush by. It's alright if you hit the gloves or hit anything else, because we're going back over it later on. And there we are. Painted rifle. Do the other one. Alright. And we're just about complete here. Got a little bit more black paint on there. Oh, excuse me. Kind of a glob there, but that's alright. If that ever happens, just do what I do and move it around. Use that same glob to hit everything if you have to. So I'm gonna go behind here, hit this, hit this. This part on the other side. Perfect. Perfect. And there we are. Blaster rifle. Not done, but we'll get there. So, that's all I'm going to do for tonight. I know that wasn't much. However, I'll just be doing more of, later on, I'll actually do just the basics, and then I'll do all the fine painting on here, and I'll show you guys what I did. So, like, what I'll do is I'll hit up, like, the bodies and everything, and then I'll take pics, and then I'll actually do the finer details on camera. As the week goes on, hopefully I'll get that done. Get some of the terrain done that I bought, because I did buy the Legion Assets pack, which looks really cool. Hopefully get it done so I can actually start playing some games eventually. That'd be nice. So thanks for watching. Y'all take care out there. Much love. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.